Templar church architecture on the island of Bornholm.
New research in its beginning phases may ultimately prove that Newport Tower originally had an ambulatory. Circular patterns of red discoloration in the clay were recently uncovered and could be a telltale sign pillars did once support such a structure. The recent discovery within the tower of astronomical alignments, which Templars used, suggest it was also a medieval calendar for calculating seasonal cycles and times of the year.
Chances are the tower was built prior to 1500 because with the invention of the printing press, you had almanacs, which go back millennia to ancient times, but you had them in printed form. And so you would know the times and the dates of all of these celestial events, and wouldn't have to have these alignments.
Another very compelling piece of evidence that's absolutely consistent with Templar Cistercian origin for this tower is what I call the Keystone illumination.
Every December, a spectacular light show signals the winter solstice.
On the inside is an egg-shaped keystone on the winter solstice. When the sun rises, the light of the sun comes through the south window, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, which happens to be a very important time of prayer to these people, we have a box of light that frames out and brightly illuminates that egg-shaped keystone.
It's an architectural detail right out of a Hollywood movie, either a coincidence or a coded clue far too advanced and meaningful to be in a simple windmill. A detail that could hold no less than the clue to what the Holy Grail really is.
I believe this is a very important allegorical symbol to the builders that is absolutely consistent with Cistercian Templar religious ideology.
Wolter's theory is that the egg-shaped keystone is a symbol for the sacred feminine, a symbol for a Templar ideology centered around a female goddess, and a belief that may have contributed to their killings at the hands of the church.
The goddess in the heavens must be part of this tower because it would be so important to them.
I think the astronomy is very much a part of it. What it means and what kind of evidence it presents, I don't know.
While the keystone illumination on the winter solstice is remarkable, something else about the keystone is astonishing. It's one of a set of keystones, back to back, in the west-northwest archway that could be part of one almost unbelievable long-range alignment.
When you plot a line from the center of the tower through the keystones across the eastern part of the United States into the Midwest area, that line goes to Kensington, Minnesota. What it could mean is that the builders of the tower were aware of the Kensington runestone land claim being in that area. The Newport Tower would represent the general direction of where that land claim was.
We never think of it. We see it in the sky and it's very bright. If you were out on the ocean or something, not on the ocean, if you were out in the country or you were back way, way, way before there were electricity and gas lamps,
what it would light, yeah.
That, what you'd end up with is you can put a stick in the ground, even if you're up in New Hampshire on a dark lake or something, you can put a stick in the ground and Venus will cast a shadow. That's how bright it is. Well, when the light shines into it, now the fireplace, okay, is unique because a lot of people said, a lot of the theories of all the different things, the Vikings, the Portuguese, and everything, and at the other window, when Venus is in the evening side, okay, it comes into the other window and it lands on the beach that's up on this wall. So the alignment's kind of coincidental, but it's pretty neat. You see how you get that little doesn't go through? Mm-hmm. It's like when you're in a church, they put like a little saint, they have little things in the walls where you have the saint. And if you take a look at the big thing, it's a fireplace. Okay, it lands.
Through the stars.
want to speak to somebody's heart tonight that may be going through a storm. Somebody may have lost someone that's real dear to your heart. I just want you to know you can make it through the storm. Just keep on holding on. I just want to let you know you can make it through this storm. Yes, through the storm. I can see the sun is breaking through the storm. I'll find a way. Yes, we will. Through the storm, I'll find my way. Wish I could have said I love you, and held you in my arms just one more time. Too many words were left unspoken. That were locked in this swollen heart of mine. Oh. But through the storm, the sun is breaking. Out through the storm, I'll find my way. Yes, I will. Through the storm, I know life is waiting.
What's your problem? I said, what's your problem?
How are you today, sir? Okay, how's it going? Fine, thank you. Thank you, sir. Here you are, sir. Thank you. Hey, buddy. You gonna pay for that or what? Look, buddy. I don't want no hassle today. Either pay for it or put it back.
Sweet.
Can you believe it? She didn't even go to Lamar's class. I told her, for yourself and for the baby. Go!
Did Bob make you go to John and Mary Ellen's last night?
I was shocked. She served blue corn tortillas. It's so dated.
So depressed. I don't know what to do. Hey, go for it, man. It's easy for you to say you got the promotion. Look, it'll come, all right? Just don't worry about it.
The feeling is definitely there. It's a new morning in America. Fresh, vital. The old cynicism is gone. We have faith in our leaders. We're optimistic as to what becomes of it all. It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism. There are no limits.
It figures it would be something like this.
Our nation, our ideals of vision.
Excuse me.
Just survive.
You know, you look like your head fell on the cheese dip back in 1957.
Put him back on? Formaldehyde face. That's what we got.
That's enough out of you. You get out or I call the cops.
Call the cops? You know what you need? You need a Brazilian plastic surgeon.
I've got one that can see.
He's a tall Caucasian male, doesn't appear armed, wearing sunglasses.
I don't like this one bit. Not one bit. That's like pouring perfume on a pig.
All right, suppose we settle down. That's far enough. Where'd you get those glasses?
Tooth fairy.
I'll bet.
You got him. Make yourself shaving this morning.
doing? My name is Antonio Ramos. I go by the name Fabio.
Through their means of reporting of contraceptive sales, and then hiding statutory rape, more or less, to protect the perpetrator, so the girl would be satisfied and the young man or the man not getting in any trouble. And here Planned Parenthood on record hiding this. I said Planned Parenthood would shut today, but it'd be somebody else who would pick up that slack. And so, but the good part about it is that people are beginning to understand and to connect the dots and realize that this is being perpetrated against minorities, and it is deeply because not only, as I said, if abortion was not lucrative, it would not be legal, but there's still a very strong ideology and belief that when you can control the minority, the African American, especially in Africa, the NSSM policy of this country to make sure the numbers of African Americans do not grow, so they would not be able to control the resources of Africa. And asking me this question that I can still see now in my brain, my mind, would you like to get involved in the pro-life movement? And of course, I used to get the two terms confused, pro-life, pro-choice. And I said to myself, sure, why not? I'll do anything to help, that type of thing. And since then, it just, one thing just led to another. I was summoned to go down to Virginia Beach, where I was going to go to a LEARN conference, Life Education and Resource Network, the largest African-American pro-life entity in the country. And they were having a conference there, and I heard Akua Farrow in her presentation talk about the Negro Project, and talk about Margaret Sanger, and talk about the 1,000, at that time, 1,452 African American children that were killed each day by abortion. And needless to say, the targeting, the systemic way it was presented, the diabolical plan and the ideology was staggering. And I was shocked, because here I am, a shepherd, and my goal and my charge is to protect the sheep and to guard them against the wolf. And here, this is going on right underneath my nose, so to speak, in our community, unabated. And no one was challenging the Planned Parenthoods, the abortion industry, and no one was challenging the African American leadership that was actually, I would find later, condoning not only abortion, but also benefiting from abortion. So that began in the best kept secret in America. But right now it's really coming to light more so than ever before. She was brilliant in her strategy. She also perceived that if you're going to reach the African American, you have to do it from a religious persuasion. You would have to be cleared through the leadership of the church. And so she told Clarence Gamble, the heir of Procter & Gamble, that we ought to hire 3 or 4 colored ministers with engaging personalities and from social service backgrounds to make sure, more or less to be the face of it, to make sure that if anyone should suspect anything, that they would be able to quell any suspicions from the congregation or the people. And so, but that was very insightful insight, and that is how our community, even today, if you look at, unfortunately, it didn't really take root as she would like it to until, of course, 1973. Eugenics is the targeting of any ethnic group with the goal of either controlling the propagation or the fruitfulness of that group when it comes to birth, or exterminate that group. And the key thing is targeted. And also the key thing is that the goal is to reduce. Genocide is when you are already now in motion with your plan to reduce, and you're now beginning to have the effects that you desired. The numbers are decreasing. Numbers are decreasing. The birth rate is going down. In the African American community today, it's at 1.97. You need 2.1 in order to maintain the present population. Presently, because of, and if with any cursory search at all, one would be able to truly find the culprit, and it's abortion. Well, I can say as far as the Planned Parenthood, they have a board of clergy. Recently in Portland, they opened up a mega killing station, and it was clergy present at the inauguration. Once again, this, allows it to appear to be socially acceptable when you put a cleric in front with a collar and is talking about the good social good this is going to do for the community. And unfortunately, we're not looking beneath reduce to create genocide with nationalities or ethnic groups that they felt were inferior. The key thing to understand is that this is what they believe. I used to believe that this was all about money. Now it is about money for many, but with the core group of eugenics believers and the brain trust of Planned Parenthood, it's ideology. How Planned Parenthood evolved, of course, you have to go with their founder, as we've stated already, unquestionably a devout racist, one who truly believed in the ideology that she was espousing, and she was part of a global group of elitists, the Eugenics Society, who had this same ideology, and she formed here in this country. It was first called the Birth Control League, and so we find that even then it more or less somewhat reveals what the agenda is, and they.
The point is almost here that the plans of our white, lily white government to incite rioting and revolution among blacks and other people of color in the world. The point is almost here where the President of the United States will issue his order for the emergency. The King Alfred Plan. You have it in your hands. Let's look at it right quick. Let's see what's going to happen here. They didn't write this, brothers and sisters, without a plan to make it happen. Let me say that one more time. They did not go through the trouble of writing this without a plan to pull it off. The King Alfred Plan, the United States of America King Alfred Plan, codenamed Rex 84. Here's what it says, and I'm going to read quickly. In the event of widespread and continuing and coordinated racial disturbances in the United States, King Alfred, at the discretion of the President, underline that and then look at the person next and say, this is why no black man can be the president. You gotta understand, people, this program was written for black people. Hey, listen, I don't know. What's Secretary of State's name? Colin Powell. I don't know. He seems to be a little disgruntled. But when you got people like that supporting the white agenda, it makes you wonder. They might be able to put somebody who looks black in those offices. It says, at the discretion of the President, King Alfred is to be put into action when? In other words, when the President of the United States, not Congress,
too soon,
not the House, not the Senate, not the House of Representatives, not the Senate, when the President declares this emergency is to be implemented immediately. Participating federal agencies, what are they? National Security Council, what else? Central Intelligence Agency, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Department of Justice, Department of Defense, Department of Interior. Participating state agencies, what are they? National Guard units, state police. Participating local agencies are what? City police and county police, that's right. Now, one of the things you need to understand, brothers, let me make this notation before we read further. In addition to the law enforcement agencies that we just mentioned, in 1982, there was a guy named Oliver North. Y'all have heard of him, right? Oliver North and Ronald Reagan got together, and the two of them amended the King Alfred Plan. And their amendment became known as Rex 84 because it was signed by Ronald Reagan in 1984. Now, the original plan was signed by Lyndon Baines Johnson, but Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic population. Originally, it was, what we're going to read, it was just written for blacks. But in 1984, Oliver North and Ronald Reagan amended it to include the Hispanic and Latino population. What's really deep, brothers and sisters, is this. The neo-Nazi groups, this is all a part of the amendment in 1984. The neo-Nazi groups in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, along with state militia groups, like the Missouri militia, the Michigan militia, the Minnesota militia, all of these white paramilitary groups that have their training grounds out in the woods and stuff that y'all, I'm sure y'all know about that, right? I hope you know about that. Well,